All right, guys. So the 2019 250 XC has been getting really bad fuel economy, and the weird thing is that I have the idle screw turned in all the way, and I have no more adjustment, and it's not running. It's running like a normal idle, and I tend to like to run it a little bit higher. So the other thing I kind of noticed is that a little bit of oil would form around the pipe. Can't really see it because I sort of cleaned it off, but a little bit of oil ring would form around the pipe. Not super rich. And kind of like jumping off stuff, like little bumps and stuff, I wasn't getting a lot of like pop, like snap out of the bike. Put out an Instagram post, and a bunch of guys kind of commented and gave their input. A couple guys like Adrian said, lean out the rod so that you get a little bit more adjustment. And I also contacted Lectron after that, and they also confirmed that that would clean up the crispness, give me more adjustments that I need. They said to do half a turn, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I've adjusted, so I pulled the metering rod with it in the bike before. It's definitely easier to take off the pipe and lift the subframe if you need to get in there, but I think I'm gonna try to get my hands in there again instead of taking all these bolts off. We'll see how it goes. I might switch around, but one thing you need to know about these Lectrons that I really dislike is that they use American Allen wrenches. So you need to remember to carry that on the trail. So we'll jump in the Trailbound tool burrito. I've got these like miscellaneous Allens, and I always forget which one is the Lectron one. I feel like I cut it down shorter so that it would fit in there better. Well, it turns out I don't have that little American Allen wrench, so I didn't really want to pull all this out and pull the carb, but I didn't have that little American Allen wrench. I just have these on me right now. So I got the carb all pulled out. So the Lectron goes this way, just to not confuse anyone. Oops, I'm losing bolts. So pull the slide out. So just note the side that the flat part is on. That is supposed to be facing the engine. So we want it to be leaner, so we're gonna lengthen the metering rod by turning it counterclockwise. So clockwise that way, counterclockwise that way. And it looks like I'll need a rag and some pliers. They make a little metering rod tool, but I don't have that. So we'll just wrap the rag, and we want it to go counterclockwise. So make sure you're not pushing up. You want to be keeping it down, like pulled down, you know, because we'll use the push-up technique to adjust it later. So that looks nice and flat, level. There's a little bit of slack in there. Okay, so now this is now facing the back of the engine because we turned it half a turn. So we want to push it in and rotate it another half a turn. But this is just, you can do it by finger tight, and that just puts the flat spot facing the engine again. I don't know if you can see it, there's a flat spot on there. And just kind of wiggle this around and make sure that it's not like sprung up. You want it to be down. Otherwise it'll change the adjustment of the engine a lot. If it gets stuck in the up spring position, it'll make it run like crazy. So just make sure it's nice and flat. And the carb's going this way. You've got the choke facing the pipe. So when you're putting it in, you're making sure that the flat part is going to the faces of the engine, facing this big chunky piece. And you just slide it in there and lace it all back up. Alright, so that only took me like 10 minutes to pull all apart, put it back together.
had all the tools out, knew exactly what I needed to do. So it always goes quick, but it's frustrating for sure. Just check for any carb leaks, make sure everything's set in there right. So just let it run a second. Alright, what's up guys? So we're back at it. I took it out for a rip at local Hollister Hills. So even after turning it half a turn, it just was not, I think it got less responsive in the throttle. And it didn't seem to fix the issue I had with the idle being turned all the way up. So I'm going to jump in there again. I got a race this weekend. I'm going to turn it half a turn back. No, I'm going to turn it quarter turn back instead of half a turn, just to get a little bit closer to where it was at. And I don't know, that's probably not going to fix it, but I'm thinking maybe I need to I'll try putting the stock reeds in there after the race and see if that does anything. But I don't know, I'm kind of stumped on what's going on with this carb thing and why it's not working out. But Tyler on Instagram, he was saying maybe he said it probably won't fix it, but it might help a little bit, is getting that new metering rod that is like special order from Slavens. It's like a 4.0, and you put that on, and you put that in the carb as kind of an upgrade. It's kind of the new, I think they just came out with that this year. And he said it just crisps it. He says it just makes it a little bit crisper, but I'm not sure that that's going to fix my problem on why it's not being responsive. So I found my 7/64th Allen wrench. If any of you guys have like a soup can full of like random Allen wrenches and you have a 7/64th, maybe you could hook me up with that. I need a spare one of these. But so right now I'm just kind of doing it. I'm going to try not taking it all apart and just doing it this way. Let's see if I can get this thing out. Pretty tight. Oh, okay, so you could like stick it up through there. All right, so I got the meter on facing forward. I'm gonna turn it quarter turn clockwise. So I'm going quarter turn clockwise. And just so you guys know, I've got a 4-2 millimeter rod. And I'm gonna push this back so it's facing flat again. And I'm gonna measure this just so we know where we're at. Looks like 51 millimeters. Let's see if we can't get that back in there. Alright, so that wasn't too bad to pull the slide out while it was still mounted on the bike. I just pulled it through this hole, and it was a little bit of a squeeze, but it seemed to work fine. So I might adjust this again on the trail and see what's going on. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the solution is, to be honest.